Okay, that starts off. Streamer in. Right, okay. Right. Okay, that's fine. Hello, Vance. I'm going to, start off here. With, oh, thank goodness, the wrong slot in. That was a demonstrator slot for the moon that I was just redoing a guide for. But I thought I wouldn't announce the upload to people because I'd just get a tidal wave of is this a re-upload? I mean, it's not. It's 6 minutes longer and actually quite wildly different, except for the exact same thumbnail, but it served a purpose and doesn't need to be changed. No, I improved it and newified it, so hopefully we won't get so many angry people saying, this guy's rubbish, doesn't work, and then giving up on Battle Cats entirely, because we don't want that. We want people coming back to it and engaging with it and carrying on with it, and then we have a larger community. Hip hip hooray. That's the idea. Is the mic quality bad, or is it my internet? I'd like to think it's your internet, Phil, although I have no way of being able to tell you that. Hello people who arriveth. Hello. I hope there will be at least some people here who watch Formula One. I hope that I can discuss the most recent race with, because I want to talk about it anyway, but I didn't want to just say things to my microphone. I wanted to engage in conversation with people about it. So if any of you do watch it, please tell me, and please start a conversation about it, because I'd love to engage in conversation about it with you. I used to watch F1 a bit, don't watch it much now. See, you've got it the right way round, Phil. I had a hiatus of it. Used to watch it when I was a lot younger, and then had a hiatus, and then came back to it when it, was going hugely downhill. Oof. In a big way. So kind of bad time to come back to it, but that's your boy. He did. So what's he gonna do now? He can't really do much. Anyway, we seem to have reached the same issue that we did before, in that nobody's here. Well, I say nobody, that's a disservice to the people who are here. Thank you, people who are here, and hello to you all. But there's not many people here, and I was rather hoping we could have a greater degree of number of people here. That would be tip top, but it appears not, right? It kind of definitely appears not. You know what I could do now? This is a bit radical, but I could do it. Is upload a video to the channel saying I'm streaming on my own channel. Can you believe it? Or, something blatantly sarcastic. The link on the Discord doesn't work. That is completely ridiculous. Not in the sense that I don't believe you, but in the sense that makes no sense at all. That kind of sense. So, very little sense. But fair enough. No, I mean, I say not much I can do about that. I can do something about that. It's just completely ridiculous to think that the link that YouTube gives on the page doesn't work. Like, if I may ask, what's that about? It's kind of really, really confusing, and just bad in many different ways, but okay, I can rectify that. Right, yeah. I mean, it looks like the link works, but you know, there are many things that are supposed to work that don't. All right. Is that ping working? Wait, what? What's going on here? No, I don't want to do that. Go away. Has there been some switcheroo going on here? Because if there is, that is not. Oh my god! Couldn't people actually stop doing this? The thing is, I've got no idea who's doing it. That's the worst thing. That might be why. At least in that front. Right, okay. Okay, so what I'll do is I will just go away. Stop that. And change the title. Latch on the title to while we right, okay, might change that back at some point. Right, have we achieved anyone so far who exists here and also registers some form of interest in the motorsport sphere? If not, what I might have to do is make a thing on the channel and be like, hey, I'm actually streaming, hi. But it seems ridiculous that it's a YouTube stream and YouTube isn't telling people about it, even though I've told it to tell people. Which just seem a little bit silly. But there you go. What do I know? Very good, that, Phil. Very droll and true. Right. Yeah, okay, looks like we're going to have to do it then. Now, we've been summoned by the ping. That's the Discord ping, I assume, right? I assume a YouTube ping would, for some reason, oh good, treasure, need to be manufactured. Are you actually making a video saying you're streaming? I think I'm going to have to, Phil. I genuinely think I'm going to have to do that. So this is what we're going to have to do. Right, okay. Start movie recording. Right, okay. Hello there everybody. Strange little video, but this is within a stream that is currently going on, and I am making this to tell you that I'm streaming, not on some faraway Twitch, because they screwed me over with the affiliate process and still haven't attempted in any way to fix that. No, I am telling you through a video on my own YouTube channel, notice that phrasing, that I am streaming on YouTube, because although I've ticked every box for it to tell you, it doesn't tell you. That, or very few people care. If it's the latter, this will be very embarrassing when I upload it and no one comes to the stream. But if you didn't know and YouTube didn't tell you, which seems to be what's happening, I am now currently streaming. Pop over if you'd like. Especially if you like Formula 1. Trying to get some conversation about it. Please. Right, did you like that? That was good, wasn't it? The community post, yeah. But I like to keep the community posts for very specific sort of important announcements. And I'm streaming is not one of those. Whereas a community post is like every few weeks, maybe. For me, because I just try and keep it to the most important stuff. A video is not. A video is a lot more regular than that, and notifying people for this video, they may see the other new one and that I didn't notify people for, and I just think this is a better way to do it because of the way that I treat community posts, because it notifies people for that should be for a very important message, not I'm streaming once. I am streaming on my own channel. Save, and then we're going to upload it to my own channel. Don't you need to click the bell for it? I don't think that's necessarily what it is, Phil. The reason I think that is because, I mean, maybe you hear the cars in the background. Oh, well, my window has to be open, I'm afraid, because it's flipping hot in here. So sorry about that. The thing is that battle cars. Oh dear. It is that surely there are enough people on the channel that would see the one from a subscription thing for a stream appearing as it should, that aren't necessarily, you know, clicking the bell. I would think. I would hope and think. Right, okay. Video diddly dee. I'm streaming on my own channel. Right. Bit weird, but there you go. Live now. And then when it's uploaded, we'll publish it, and then hopefully might get some people in. Okay. Obviously don't monetize it because that's ridiculous. And publish. Right. Hopefully then people will appear. I guess I might have to just close my window then, because there are some loud vehicles outside, and I don't know why, but it's exceedingly loud, so sorry about that. Right, okay. Windows closed now. Oh, we're getting some highs. Hi guys, there we go. You see, we're getting some new people in here. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream that was happening and YouTube didn't want to tell you about. Is it 42 people already? Wow. You see, these are back to classic levels. Just going to check my treasure, but principally, I don't want to be talking about Battle Cats here. This is my first stream with you. Hello, hope you enjoy it. I might not actually be able to speak for very long, but hopefully we'll be able to get some conversation in. I am hoping that there will be at least a couple of people, right? Oh, I've forgotten what level I was needing to do. That's really annoying. Greece, I think it was Greece, right? Who watch Formula One, please? Is there anyone? Also, yeah, stop with the Fs, please. I mean, I understand it's about the YouTube thing, and I appreciate the sympathy, but let's have an ordered chat. So, yeah, anyone? You do? Right. Excellent. Got you, cool. Love that. So if you could initiate a conversation, assuming you've seen the French Grand Prix, about what you thought about it, and then ask me what I thought about it, and then I can get into the thing that I could just unselfishly say to a microphone instead of dragging people into a stream to turn it into a conversation. And oh my god, 69 people. Guess that's what happens when YouTube actually notifies people that I'm streaming. Brilliant. Classic YouTube. Can't fault them on that. Absolute. Cannot fault them. F1, yes, loving this. We've finally got some fellow F1ers. Would love your questions then, or talking points, right? And then I can talk about it, and then gather sound bites from what I've said, and that's ultimately my. I didn't watch one. No, oh, well, technically you're kind of lucky. Don't bother. Anyone who did? Anyone who watched the Anyone watch the French Grand Prix? We're up to 81 people. Amazing. Loving this. Hi guys, thanks for popping along. Speedy zoom fast neum. Maybe it used to be. not so much of the regulations they're doing to people nowadays, but that's part of the race was suspenseful. I'd love to hear how you can justify that. Go on. Go for it. Very nice, DJ. Like that. That would be a nice thing to plug, wouldn't it? I guess, technically, yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah, anyway. Oh, hi there. That video worked, didn't it just? Wow. Wow. Why? No, wait, that's Battle Cat's conversation. We shall not have that. This is going to be really difficult. You know, because it's just something I like that has nothing to do with the original channel, so why would anyone else talk about it? But I can live in hope, can't I? Anybody gonna give me a question about it so I can start talking about it? Please? Please? Like, please? That would be great. A question about what? Okay, not in such a broad sense. Just about the current state of it, right? How it's got worse. And this is going to be really difficult to sort of communicate as a debate, isn't it? Because I mean, I could just talk about what I want to talk about instead of trying to get people to ask me to talk about what I want to talk about. Oh, goodness me. Goodness me. Yeah, yeah, you know, suddenly, like, it's just, How do you feel about recent changes in the F1 community? Go on. What do you mean? This might be more my kind of question that I could easily ask myself. Yeah, that's what I thought, because the question didn't really make sense in context. Good try, though. I guess I appreciate the effort. You know what? This isn't going to work, is it? The conversation isn't. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, good. We got superior treasure. That's nice. Yeah. You hear beeping. Oh, well, I'm afraid I can't help with that. That's weird. I don't hear any beeping, so that's either YouTube or OBS. Or I'm deaf. Ah, there we go. That's the kind of question I was looking for. Right. What did you think of the French Grand Prix, Raggett? Tar for asking. I think it's symptomatic of a really rather large problem that we're getting in Formula One at the moment, don't you? The sort of issue where it's caught in some terrible chasm between being a series where racing is even remotely close or interesting, or being a series where evolution is allowed, with huge gaps between everyone on the track and yet very little ability to innovate, which I think is just terrible. I mean, I recorded a long video about it, and maybe I could fashion that into a thing, right? That'd be nice. But ultimately, I mostly wanted to talk about this, right? Because I made a video a little while ago that was about how DRS, which is the system within F1 for those who, no idea what I'm talking about, could be restructured to make racing close, and nobody cared. I mean, why would they? It's a Battle Cats channel. Why would you think an F1 video on it would be even remotely reliable or interesting? But I thought it was a good idea, and watching this Grand Prix, it made me think, yeah, actually, this idea, if it was in place, could have made the race interesting and could have made there actually be racing. And that would have been great. Also, getting some other great questions, but I want to talk about this for the time sensitivity of it, right? I'd love to do just a general Q&A at some point, and probably will. Like, what did you think of Endgame? Would love to answer that. Could, technically, but I'm going to pretend that I can't. Treasure, that's what I was going to look at, because I keep forgetting what on earth I'm doing. Japan, Russia, Denmark. Right. Okay. Let's start in Japan. That's nice and easy. See, I don't know what people are talking about. See, all these great questions, all these great questions that I want specific questions. You know what? it's not. I'm not going to achieve what I wanted to achieve. Your opinion was pretty good because of how winners were reacting at the end of the race. What do you mean? Oh, good. Superior treasure. Good. Denmark. Yeah. I feel like I'm probably going to have to abandon my my hoped course of action. But hey, you know, what can you do? Not much, it appears. Maybe I should just enunciate the thoughts myself. But it's because I know that I feel like I have this really good idea. And, you know, I don't want to self-inflate here like I'm some narcissistic balloon, but I genuinely think that it is a good idea. And practically nobody has seen it or interacted with the idea. Even if there was a fundamental flaw in it, I haven't seen enough people there to express the problem with it. And what I'd really like is to be able to have many people see what I think is a really good idea. But they won't. I mean, I'm lucky to an extent that I managed to integrate sort of philosophical advice for being a good person into videos so people hear that, but you can't just drop random F1 stuff in it because the audience that you need isn't going to be there for it. What did you think? Spoilers, although not really spoilers because 90% of the people here don't care about Formula 1, the other 10% know what happened. Obviously, I'm probably the last person to find out because I'm not really in with Scumbag Sky and their monopoly over the content, which is another thing I want to make a video about that nobody will watch. And I think it's a huge burning injustice and that it's actually terrible and Sky should be taken to court. But there you go, you know. Not as if there are many people who even know the context of that situation. An F1 Discord? Huh. Maybe. That's an idea. Yeah, good idea actually. I like that. Anyway, what did you think when Lewis won? The question was, well, so what did you think when the first corner had been driven round? Is essentially what has now kind of happened. Do you like Lewis Hamilton? On that note, no, not particularly. Reason being that I just find him quite arrogant, and I think his race engineer Bono is even worse. It's really annoying how he says exactly the same thing every race. I'll try and approximate it. No obviously personal offence to him, it's just the way that he comes across is really repetitive and dull and quite grating. Get in there, Lewis. Nice job, mate. You did really good all weekend. Fantastic drive, Lewis, mate. Fantastic drive. Every single race getting quite grating, singing that Lewis has won, what, all but like 2 or 3 of them? And then come second in the other ones. So, yeah. Anyway, he even won a race that he didn't win. If anybody watches Formula 1 will possibly know what I mean. Anyway, the point is that this sort of this winning thing from the end of the first corner every single time is really annoying people, and you know, annoys me. And I made a long video about it, and I thought there are 2 sensible paths that Formula 1 can take, and that is to make it what they call a spec series, which is where all the cars are the same, so the racing will be close, or actually allow levels of innovation where that would mean that you'd get the kind of huge gaps we have now, but for an actual reason. And I feel like that should be what Formula One should be, because it is the pinnacle of motorsport. And if teams are not allowed to develop their cars to be incredible machines rather than heavily regulated machines, what kind of is the point of it? If you want a spec series, I think Formula E is rather good for that. And to the person asking if they should watch it, probably don't get into Formula One. Me coming back to watching it was probably at a really bad time. Formula E, however, the electric one, where all of the cars are exactly the same, is really rather good, especially good for close racing. So I'd recommend that to you, and nice and good for the environment as well. But yeah, ultimately, it's just because I've got this pent-up frustration that I feel like I've got these good ideas, but I'm kind of pitching them to the wrong audience, you know? And I've no way to kind of access the audience for these matters that I want to access. So thank you, people who are listening, for listening, even if you have no idea what I'm talking about. You know, I guess that's nice. And an idea of me joining a Discord for it. I could look around for that. Yeah. Is there a function for searching for Discords within Discord? I can't remember. If there isn't, I might need one recommended to me, because I'm quite bad at finding things. Delete all Battle Cats videos, start an F1 channel. Oh heck yeah, no, I don't think so. Right, okay, let's look at treasure. Russia is all we need now. Okay. There we go. There is a Discord search. Okay. Fair enough. Good. Glad I've managed to maintain some form of audience through this. Disboard is a website that you can search for servers on. Huh. Okay. I'll go and open a tab with that searched on it. So I don't forget. If you hear that clacking, this is one thing I'm a little bit annoyed by, right? The fact that iPhones have pointy out cameras. Why? Why can't you just keep it within the phone? Even if that sacrificed some performance, I wouldn't care. It makes me really nervous every time I put it down. It has this horrible pointy out camera that you have to be careful about not scratching, whatever. Anyway, I can make a whole video about how much I hate that Apple are just doing that now. Anyway, separate note, really. Would you go to Japan if you could? To be honest, right, although I should probably answer this in the form of a Q&A rather than, you know, diverging from what I was trying to talk about with Formula One, but Kamui Kobayashi was from Japan, so Honda engines, Honda's Japanese. No slant on Japan, but no. But that the reason for that is that I don't like travelling. I like knowing where I am and everything about where I am and what I'm doing, and not being in any sort of hairy, scary new situations is where I'll always try to be. And at home is my happiest place, other than possibly McDonald's. So probably for that reason, no, travelling wise. Right, have we got all the superior treasure there? I think we have. We have indeed. So this Madagascar, Egypt, South Africa, Machu Picchu, these ones are much further on then. Are any of these ones that I have access to? No. Right, okay. Just get a thick case so the camera bum won't actually hit anything. Fair point. I'm just a bit stingy, so that's why I'm not kind of buying one. But yeah. Thanks for that, prompting a little bit of Formula One discussion. I think I actually got some decent stuff said. Hopefully the audio quality on the stream's all right. Usually is, unless Phil was right and there's bad mic quality and everyone else is right and there's some strange beeping. Actually, that is kind of worrying. I don't know why, because I'm not hearing any beeping. Genuine question, Reggie. Why are you continuing Doki Doki? If I may flip the question back to you, why wouldn't I be? When will the video about the collab come out? It won't, because I was doing A-levels, so I couldn't record it, I'm afraid. Though there will be a video about the checkup survey, the second best thing, clearly. I did attempt to answer your question before. I recommended Formula E to you, which is a much better series for racing. Probably don't bother starting Formula 1 until it actually gets interesting again, which it might never, so avoid it for now. Okay, is Muddy Puddle ever coming back? Well, mate, still exists. But, I mean, he said you want to play Overwatch actually quite recently, but I was not there at that point. We've just got a random shout out for Laura Mulvey. Love that. That's the kind of shout out you like. Okay, so ultimately, I'm going to quiet down a little bit. Probably turn a light on because I can't actually see. Reggie, when your exams? When were my exams? I've done them actually, luckily. I didn't even mean it as sass. Like genuinely, I don't understand why the question needs to be asked as to why I'm continuing Doki Doki. Great game, far better than that horrible Cuphead because you can actually complete Doki Doki. Whether you're mentally intact afterwards is a different debate, but you can actually complete it. Yeah, I don't see any reason why not to. When's your results day? It is mid-August, before your results day, about a week before yours, I think, Phil. Oh, speaking of that, right? How were your GCSEs, Phil? Let's hear from Phil. Because Phil's had like 20 exams, lucky Phil. And I'm just going to brave the great abyss, because why not? Let's see if it's acceptable. Okay, so 9 down, because if it's very difficult, it might end up being an episode of the beginner guide, but we'll see. Yo, Reggae, what's up? What's up? My frustration at not being listened to in the Formula 1 community, but then again, it's not a Formula 1 channel, so would you be surprised? Probably not. But yeah, that Discord idea is a good idea. Maybe earn favour with people. Not, people in high places, but just sort of an audience, maybe. Oh, that's actually a good point. Maybe, arguably, Doki Doki isn't completable. But in the sense that you kind of do get to the end of the game more reliably than in Cuphead. Do you stream often? More often than YouTube would have you think, in the sense that, I do actually stream and YouTube doesn't tell you, even though it's on this channel. But I wasn't doing much streaming and no videoing during the A-level time. Actually being studious for once, which I guess was good from an academic perspective, maybe not good from a content perspective. I was still tweeting, lots of that. Spend way too long on Twitter. But, yeah, I think generally, a little bit. My original aim was to sort of stream on a day when there isn't a video. But I'm not sure I'd be able to keep to a timetable. And that's why, quite deliberately, I don't make one. Oh wait, hang on. I asked Phil a question and then kind of didn't look for a response. Pretty good. Not much to say. 21. Wow. Crikey. Right. I think them separating out exams for you, Phil, is sort of is just decency. Don't think it's a comment on the sort of academic level of the school. Oh, I'm gonna get destroyed by cellaboodles there. Right. Yeah, I couldn't even press pause. Wow. Well, that. I think that says it, although not really, because I could have started it a lot better. But let's just you know what? Probably not replenish energy because I'm probably going to have to stop soonish. Why just your channel stream YouTube not notify? Why does YouTube not notify you? I've got no idea, to be honest. You see, this is turning into a Q&A now that I could just do as a separate thing, and probably should. So I apologise, but I'll try my best to kind of yeah. Reggae, why do you stream so late? Because, and I can relate this to Formula 1, this is after I came back from watching the race, which I could only watch in highlights form, because I am not going to be party to Sky, who I believe are a company of complete scumbags, taking and monopolising rights to show live races and paying them for it. I think it's genuinely disgusting of them. So I watched the highlights of it on Channel 4 where it's free, and that was at 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock, and so here I am. Right, okay, I get other channels stream notifications. Well, I don't know. I wasn't saying it's a problem across the whole of YouTube. I was just saying that it is still YouTube's fault, whether it's to one person or not. Unfortunately, that is just the case. What's... Oh, stop flipping iPhone. Why have you got a pointy camera? I mean, who thought of that? Right, what are these other treasures? This is just a 3-part one. Korea, Mongolia. That's only cat-based defence, though. What about this one then? Cat cannon attack power. Norway, France. Haven't got that far. Hang on, I can do this one. Singapore, Kenya, Saudi Arabia. I think, have we got Saudi Arabia on there? No, actually we've only got Singapore out of them, so maybe not. I've got memory like a sieve at the moment. What was the other one? Hey Battlecat bro! Hope you're doing good. I'm alright, thank you. Felt terrible this morning actually, but got that redone beginner's guide done, and that gave me a new boost of confidence. Why can't you upload a 10-minute video daily? It'll help your channel immeasurably. Well, on the first point to contend, I don't know the veracity of it, and it was quite an old thing, but actually, old MatPat said that that's not necessarily true, I think. That, or I'm misinterpreting what was said. Also, because videos take quite a while to make, and I would be completely burnt out if I did that. So that's the reason. I should think the question was asked with a complete lack of any spite, but that's the reason why. Yeah. YouTube. The small get smaller, and the big also get smaller. Was going to make a political comment on that, but actually, I'll save it. Don't need any political ideology entering the stream. We're not talking about that. We don't need to talk about that. It was only a broad ideological comment in case anyone's wondering. Mongolia, right. Is Mad Dr. Clay good? I have got no idea. Don't have... What is it? Warlock and Pierre? Don't have it. I understand, though, that different forms of it are useful in different circumstances, though. But I don't think it's bad by any means, from what I've heard and seen. I feel like Battlecat Bro might know. If Battlecat Bro's still here, you can ask Battlecat Bro. Participants. Yeah, you're in luck. Battlecat Bro's still here. invalid parameters. What on earth do you think you're doing, YouTube? You've already been terrible today, right? Don't need to be more terrible with your weird chat messages. So, Reggit, what are your methods of not burning out or doing YouTube as a job? Well, having well, I don't earn enough for it to be a job, but appreciate the thought. Having a sort of semi off day, and then ideally doing a video every other day. I say semi off because a video wouldn't necessarily be done within a day, but yeah, sort of semi off day in the middle, in which I'll do a stream, which is, you know, a lot easier on production values because you just stream for as long as the stream is, and then don't spend much longer on it other than to like format it. Wait, sorry, what was I answering? Sorry, Battlecat Bro. You were answering someone's question. Is Mad Dr. Clay good? I believe you have Warlock and Pierre, and I assume that's what it is. So that they just wanted to know that, and I suggested that you'd know. I mean, obviously it's not something you can know a value judgment about a unit, but you can give a good opinion of it. A well-informed opinion. Again, you can't have a good opinion, but I'm going down the rabbit hole of syntax, which people probably really don't want me to do. Oh no, it's getting philosophical again. No. That's what they say. What's your current upload schedule if you have one? Emphasis on if you have one. Oh, I procrastinate too much to have one, to be fair. For the moment, for June, completely up in the air. Fireworks, why? Why? Anyway, just speaking to some fireworks, don't mind me. June, just some sort of things that I sort of actually kind of want to post but aren't regular sort of things, like the redo of the beginner's guide. Ideally, I want to maybe make something on why Sky are awful people, and such. In the future, Reggit tries to get employed by Sky. So we've seen this on your social media, and no. Yeah, I mean, that's always a risk in this day and age. They pick you up on something that's really your own personal private business. It's kind of terrifying, this age of social media shaming, and I think it's ultimately really terrible that you can't express an opinion. And I'm not being one of those kind of really right-wing free speech types who just want to offend people. I think they're honestly, what they're doing is terrible, and saying that that's free speech, or that free speech is a really good thing because it's just the right to offend. But the right to express an opinion that is sort of mediated but just critical of someone like an organisation like Sky, but then have possible job prospects affected by it, I think is awful. But there you go, that's another thing I could make a whole video on. But to answer the question and go back to it, you know, good old practice at the A-levels, referring back to your line of argument, is random stuff for June, and in July, hopefully, if I get it done, something special for you on a certain day near the start of July. I'll say that much. He says with absolutely no certainty whether that will happen. And going back to normal, I guess. What other videos do you want to make? More kind of philosophical ones, I think. You know, and having a go at Sky, that too. Other than just Battlecats ones, continue with Doki Doki, that sort of thing, for people who watch it. But that's why I'm doing it in June, and then starting July as a sort of earning month, and hopefully trying to build up money to be able to live off it eventually. That's what it's all about, hopefully, because I'd love to be able to live off it. What do you think of the BBC? Oh, I've got a lot of things to say about, well, the licence fee specifically. Ideally, I don't know if it will be possible or not, because I said I'd like to do these things, but not necessarily going to happen. I would quite like to write a dissertation on it, which if you don't know what a dissertation is, and technically I don't know what a dissertation is because I'm not in university, but it's a sort of university essay that's really long, and I sort of want to do about that. And hopefully the BBC would like it, and maybe I'll get a job there as well, if I'm not too critical of them, which I am sometimes quite a lot. But there you go. Your philosophical views are really interesting, pal. Oh, big tar for that. I appreciate the heck out of that. I'm going to screenshot your comment if you don't mind. If you do, I'm afraid I'm going to still screenshot it and put it in my kind words folder. Right, okay. Yeah, I'll have a kind words folder. It's actually got quite a few kind words in it. Almost rivaling the unkind words folder. Anyway, yeah. I mean, most of the unkind stuff is either really, really amazingly harsh or just quite funny. Oh, there are quite a few funny ones. Anyway. But that's actually got its own separate folder called funny words or something similar. I think it's actually called le funny because putting le in front of something makes it funny. Right. Mongolia is an easy level, but taking a while to get treasure. Oh, we got a score award, that's good. And a bit better treasure, but still not what we need. I'd like to keep going. Kind words folder sounds like a good idea. It does, doesn't it? Because you can refer to it when you kind of sad. Think, oh, these people said all these nice things to me. So yeah, I'd certainly recommend it. Screenshot nice things people have said to you online and put it in a folder. Just get normal info come back for Superior in this treasure festival. I mean, I would if I was trying to get treasure in all of the levels, but I'm doing it specifically for certain advantages against traits before I try the Great Abyss. At this point, it's red and aliens, and there we go. There's the treasure. Because otherwise, there's stuff that would only be incomplete because I haven't got far enough to access all the levels for the treasure, or stuff that would be irrelevant. But I will do one irrelevant one next. Like, I can't get any of these. Yeah, and so I'll do... So this is a sort of irrelevant one, though. Oh, yeah, because the red one I didn't have all... I only had one of the levels for. So I'm getting ahead of myself there. I'm actually already doing the irrelevant one. Gotta get Superior for China, then, I guess. Right. Okay. I'll have to explain. Oh my god, Reggit, why have you got higher base health than me? This tutorial is fake! Yeah. I've had a lot of that. Partly why I've redone the Chapter 2 Moon Guide. It's bigger, it's hopefully better, it's more expansive, and reminds people they need all superior treasure. Very explicitly, kind of right at the start. Are you a fan of anime? I'm not going to say I'm not a fan of anime, but I'm going to say I'm afraid that I've kind of never seen it. I wouldn't call the It's Fake stuff necessarily hate. I mean, it is a little bit annoying when people say, oh, it's fake. Like that. In that voice, most certainly. When it's clearly not, but these people are probably just very angry that they can't do the level, and then I think back to my previous self and go, oh, that's exactly what I did. So I had to kind of cater for these people, which is why I tried to make the guide better. And you know, if these people aren't angry, they're more likely to carry on and stay within the Battle Cats community, and that would be great. Bigger community, maybe not better community, but more prosperous community. And hopefully if everyone treats each other with respect and tolerance and kindness, it will be a better, bigger community. So yeah, that's part of it, because I can definitely see myself in these people struggling with levels other people find easy and then getting really angry at the tutorial itself. What do you think about Toy Story, Raggett? Yeah, sorry, I saw you ask that question before. I was tending to answer it. I'm afraid that I have not seen it. You asked about 4, didn't you? I haven't seen that. I've seen 10 minutes of Toy Story 3. There was a pink bear called Lotso. That's all I remember. And I haven't seen the other 2 either, I'm afraid. Yeah, although as controversial as that is, I have not seen any Toy Story films in any great length. Yeah. Tell you what, we should all have a kind words folder. And I was not a philosophical point I'm going to try and force on people. If I was going to try and force any philosophical point on people, it would be my doctrine on the harm principle, which I'm saying in deliberately fancy language to make you go, wow, which is it's a bit obnoxious, but ultimately it boils down to treat everyone with respect and try not to cause them displeasure. So be nice to people, ultimately. Just a sort of more rigid way of wording that, which I could go into a whole philosophy about, to be fair, and probably will one day. But yeah, that the kind words folder is not something I'd force on people, but I think having a kind words folder is good. You know, reminds you that people are nice to you. I mean, I have a very dim view of human nature. I think humans, me included, and everyone, even the nice people here, thanks guys, included, are to some degree terrible people. We all are. We're imperfect in so many different ways and are sometimes really horrible to other people in so many ways. And so it's nice to be able to find the times where we are nice to people and capture those moments, like Eminem said, or just let it slip. That was a really obscure reference, but there you go. You know, again, a bit of the nice flashes of going against sort of terrible human nature. Some people believe that human nature is naturally good. I mean, I can't prove that they're wrong, but I think they are. Reggie, you seem like a really chill and nice guy. Oh, that's very kind. I aim to be like that. Certainly didn't used to be like that. Used to be terrible. And that's the thing with this culture of like shaming people's past actions. If that continues for me, I'm out of any kind of job. Let me guarantee you that. So that's something I'd like to make a video on as well. Any conversation with Chauzy, Kobe or Lucas recently? Not, sadly. Although that does remind me, I need to ask Lucas something. So thanks for indirectly reminding me that. Don't know how I feel about living in a society where we need to actively remind people they should be nice to each other. Yeah, I understand that from an idealistic point of view, but if reminding people to be nice to each other means they're nice, I'm alright with that. I think often the intention doesn't really matter. I think the intention does matter if you're intending to harm someone. Again, more on that if I've fully fleshed out my ideas. But other than that, the most important thing is that there's a good consequence, and the intention you had when doing the action, as long as it wasn't to harm anyone, I think doesn't matter. We are too bad as human beings to worry about the quality of intentions. What did you think about the Champions League 2019 finale? Oh, he's got these nice comments here. I might put those two together into one comment. Is this football? I watched the World Cup, right? Because the World Cup interests me in a kind of national, yeah, go England, come on Lionesses, woo, sort of thing. But football itself as a sport, really not interested in it. And I strongly dislike the offside rule and would like to see it banned because it's meaningless and it doesn't help anyone. But yeah. Do you think humans' own inventions will destroy them? Maybe. I think global warming will first, don't you? Too flipping hot. Like that. What set is best for early mid-game? The Battle Cat's Beginner's Guide. To plug my series. I don't know. It depends what Ubers you have, really. If you have some multi-purpose Uber, you ultimately probably don't have to worry about what you're putting in your slot. We have a Le Collaborateur here. Great. High cola. And some great fun here, actually. Let's, I guess, try the Great Abyss once again, because I need to get through it somehow. Yeah, well, it's a fair point, Coffee. I probably wouldn't make a video about the offside rule just because I don't know much about football, but from what I can see, it's a completely stupid idea and doesn't help anyone. It just frustrates play and takes away goals that people have got, like 5-second penalties from the FIA, take away wins that certain Germans have rightfully won in the Canadian Grand Prix, to be not at all subtle. Anyway, I'll go to Egypt tomorrow. I have to wake up at 6. 5-hour car journey to airport, wow. To burn alive in Egypt, yeah, no, I hate the hot weather even here, so I wouldn't survive there. But hope you have a nice time in Egypt. Reggie, I'm doing Latin in school. Any tips? Yes. Avoid Latin literature. But I mean, if you've chosen to do it for GCSE, you won't be able to avoid Latin literature. So ultimately, is this something you've opted that you will be doing, or that you're doing at the moment? My disappointment is immeasurable. Oh, what with? Is it the fact I don't like the offside rule? Are there people who actually like the offside rule? Because that is learning something new every day. Right, okay. I am still yet to find someone who can explain to me what it means and have me actually understand it as well. Something about someone being in front of someone else and you not being in front, even though it's called the offside rule, which even within itself makes no sense. And this is impenetrable. It's actually quite worrying how difficult that is. Reggie, I'm going to middle school. Any tips on how to survive? Well, I never went to a middle school, and my closest equivalent to that was a dreadful experience, and ultimately, through media I've seen, it's probably given me a badly tinged view on how awful middle school life would be. It's probably not best to ask there. That, if anyone's interested, is called Mean World Syndrome, by a chap called George Gerbner. He was one of my media theorists. He said that if you keep seeing negative representations of things on TV, for example, you will take that view that the world is a much scarier place than it actually is. Mm. Yeah, anyway, was there any development on that thing about Latin? Oh, I saw a thing. Did I see a thing? I've forgotten who originally said the thing now. I'm really bad at keeping track. Right. I just asked the same question again. Kind of need it to be a bit more specific to answer that, but I'm happy to answer it. I think the Ponos are not so creative nowadays. Oh, well, they got that Dear Ponos video. There's some free ideas for them to implement. I really do think that miners thing is a good idea. Again, like earlier in the stream, I was like, oh yes, my Formula 1 idea is fantastic. But I do genuinely think that it's a good idea. What do you think about Captain Marvel and Shazam? Well, the little TV spot trailers for Shazam, goodness me, do they look terrible. Certainly wasn't going to watch that film. Captain Marvel, haven't seen that. But there's a thing about kind of about Captain Marvel. Maybe it's because I didn't see the film, but I thought she was a bit of a Deus Ex Machina in Endgame, and it didn't seem particularly fair. You know how she kind of saved several different situations to try and put a non-spoilerific sense in it. Though I can't think of many people who wouldn't have seen Endgame yet, but maybe there are some. Right, okay. Yeah, I mean, I would quite like to spend a stream talking about Endgame. which, by the way, I thought was a far better film than Infinity War. Mostly thematically. Infinity War felt like a failed Star Wars film, but Endgame felt like a proper Marvel film. Any six people are antisocial? No, that's me. That's why I'm talking to you through a computer. Even though I don't like technology, which is possibly a really ironic point. Discuss. There you go. Oh, Valkyrie getting in some good hits there. Good. Bad. She dead. I haven't seen Endgame. Then I hope what I said was not spoilerific then. And I shall certainly not attempt to spoil it. Do you have existential crisis from time to time? I'm a philosopher. I am an existential crisis. Oh, we got rid of the Celeboodles, that's good. I wouldn't even call it a crisis though. Personally, I think existentialism helps you to see that life has no meaning and that you kind of have to construct the meaning of life, which in my view, as a utilitarian, is to increase the amount of pleasure and reduce the amount of displeasure that people experience. Hence me saying be nice to people, because that's sort of an invariable rule to increase pleasure and decrease displeasure. Honestly, Huskers, I don't know what you're referencing, and probably don't give any more clues because we've got someone who hasn't seen Endgame in the chat. And as someone who gets really annoyed when there's even a half hint of a spoiler, I don't want to kind of don't want to spoil it for anyone. Right, I'll pause this. 2 questions. When are the next beginner account videos coming out? And also, have you thought of making a video on a survey? There is a video on the survey that will be made in like early July for reasons. And there was a beginner account video today. Admittedly, a remake of an old one, but it is quite markedly different. There are a lot of new bits in it, and what the next what the next beginner account video is and when it is depends on my experience here with the Great Abyss, actually, which seems to so far be quite negative. It's not looking great, is it? It's not. Absolutely not great. But what can you do sometimes? What can you do? I think we're fighting a losing battle here. Might be because I have so many expensive meat shields. Might be because that cyber horn is far too strong. And the thing is, I've got all the anti-alien treasure you can get by this point. So I don't actually know why I've struggled here so much. So, I don't know. It's a conundrum, isn't it? Guess I'll start getting treasure on the levels I haven't got treasure on yet. Slow down one and stop its movement. Both things that require gacha procs, though, aren't they? That is where my issue for the beginner's guide appears. Any other games you had a chance to play in Doki Doki Battle Catch your free time? Yeah, when my PlayStation worked, Formula 1 games, I enjoyed them. Alas, no more. Hey ho. Oh well. Right, okay. Got 2 more on Norway. Any tips to help easing anxiety? I don't really have anxiety. I mean, unless it's sort of social anxiety from being in a new situation, which for me is avoided by avoiding new situations wherever possible and staying at home. or if I'm going somewhere, going with someone helps. But if the anxiety is really bad, I'd sort of seek medication for it. And I mean, help is a loaded term, but you know what I mean. Talking to people about it. How do you think Reggie looks like? Terrible. I need a shave. Ah, Battle Cats. Catching me out. I can have 2 more tries on Norway, say, and then it gives me superior treasure, making me need to do something else. Knew it would end up doing that. Oh, we're fine. We can just do France. Like the French Grand Prix. How many sugars in your tea? No sugars. I try and stay away from the sugar. I drink Coke Zero, for example. Actually a little bit conscientious in that. Respect. And then probably ignore all the sugar in like ready meals and any other form of food. So ultimately, I'm probably no better off. But yeah, no sugars in my tea. Guess you're going to have to stay stuck till you have high level cats or get lucky. Yeah, lucky's not going to cut it for a guide though. Going to have to think about it. Might have to do a, okay, you kind of do need gacha for this. This is the gacha you need. Bish bash bosh. Which is the problem of extending the beginner guide this far and further, is that you just know gacha's not practical anymore, and then you get into issues of how on earth will people replicate strats? Welcome back. You're flipping excited that you're back. Yes, that's pretty good. But I'm afraid I'll be ending the stream soon. Do you know who the next 100% Uber is? I do not, but I believe there's a little chart for it on the Battlecats Reddit. Not that I ever really shout out the Battlecats Reddit, but I think there is a chart for it there. I wonder how Reggit likes his coffee, other than the stream chat. Well, wonder no more. I like my coffee black and strong. Don't like milk in my coffee, although I do have milk in my tea. So if you want to make me a coffee or a tea... Oh, and not instant either. If you've only got instant, make me a tea. If anyone's thinking of inviting me round for a cup of coffee. Oh, it reminds me of a little comic thing that Cola Bottle made. It's just an avatar going, coffee, ha 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 ha. And it's like an evil face. It's just a ha 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 ha, not a mug of coffee. It's like a maniacal laugh, but about coffee. It's really difficult to describe in words, but it looks quite funny. Anyway. I know that Reggit enjoys that same great Coke taste as Zero Sugar. It's not the same Coke taste. It's a load of rubbish, really, isn't it? I just think it tastes nicer than Diet Coke. It's alright, but not that great. Yeah, I quite like Vanilla Coke Zero. Peach Coke Zero, I'm a little bit partial to. I tried a raspberry one. I didn't like that. The raspberry one's a new one. But yeah. Yeah. Well, it looks like there's some nice, kind help in the chat for social anxiety. I mean, yeah, I'm mostly trying to avoid it by, luckily, having some friends that if I go somewhere, hopefully there's a chance that they'll be there to go with me. But yeah, I don't like going places somewhere and I get very socially anxious, so I just try my very best to stay at home. My people on Twitter call me, yeah. Twitter are always calling me. Reggit, what do you know about NASCAR? Really stocky, blocky cars that, from my experience in racing games, can't turn around a corner, driving around an oval. Though that's probably a very cynical British view of NASCAR. I understand there's quite a bit of overtaking in it though, so in that respect, beats Formula 1 these days. Topical. And on that closing circular note, right, I hope that point was balanced enough for you. I do apologise if you love NASCAR and I've just tried to dismantle it in front of you. Obviously I can't dismantle it because it's an opinion and opinions can't be wrong unless they're expressed as statements of fact. So, I guess this is ta-ra, but thanks for all coming along when I notified you of the stream, like YouTube couldn't be bothered to. It's been fun, actually. So ta for that, and ta-ra for that. I'll see you later. Bye.